honestly, in between the time period where I hit stop streaming and hit start streaming, nothing really happened other than the fact that it was raining really bad. I couldn't go to sleep because I was so overstimulated. These young guns, dude, they made me stay up way later than I normally would, okay? Made me fucking debate for like 8 hours. But I saw a lot of value in that, honestly. I think it's important to have conversations like that. So with the hopes that maybe, these massive audiences that normally would not consider me in a charitable light could possibly see me in a different light. And also the things I advocate for. I hope I was able to change people's minds. That's always my goal, right? So that is that was the main thing. I mean, obviously we'll do a little bit of a recap on that maybe a little bit later down the line, but there's more pressing matters that are happening currently, like Donald Trump. XQC chat was agreeing with you there for a second. Yeah, which is really interesting because XQC himself was rarely agreeing with me. Mr. Moderator literally said at a certain point, I shit you not, at a certain point he said, unfortunately, we found evidence that Hasan was in the right. I was like, unfortunately? Motherfucker, you're supposed to be the mediator. I'm the referee, dude. But yeah, no, it was funny overall. It was funny overall. It was entertaining overall. I think that we'll probably put the debate up as well. That was not a debate. Trainwrecks didn't really add anything to the debate except his grievances. It's fine. So anyway, yeah, we'll cover that stuff. But like, obviously, I was so overstimulated from that experience that I couldn't go to sleep until like 2 a.m. Or when you bring facts to light, they didn't like that. Yeah. I thought it wasn't a debate. It wasn't supposed to be. It was supposed to be like, well, but like XQ said he was going to be the mediator. But anyway, we had a lot of conversations, a lot of back and forth. It's ultimately whatever. But now I hope a lot of people have developed a newfound understanding of why I do certain things like that every now and then. When you're like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? Like, you get why I'm doing it, right? Like, there's a lot of people that just have a false understanding of what socialism is. There's a lot of people who have a false understanding of like what I do personally, and like obviously my job for it to be, and I have a very fulfilling and very, very mentally stimulating, fulfilling job. But for it to be successful, I have to be able to convince people. For me to be able to convince people, I need charitability. A lot of people on the right, not saying that Train or XQC is, but a lot of people on the right willingly and deliberately, knowingly try to erode that charitability. So I have to do everything I can to, fight back tooth and nail so I can at least make arguments that people are open-minded towards, instead of thinking, dude, you're a fucking piece of shit. Regardless though, I will say that I think overall it was productive, and every now and then you got to do stuff like that. But other than that, like I said, it left me so overstimulated that I couldn't fucking go to sleep. Don't want to sound like a condescending 38 millennial, but I must say I'm proud of how you handled that last night, bro. You did well. Thank you. So other than that, though, other than that, by the way, if you think they weren't getting talking points like last time, you're crazy. I know disingenuous talking points when I hear them. I know where it comes from. It doesn't matter. Because like, I do feel like I do everything I can. I'm obviously a human being and I fuck up every now and then, right? But like, the main thing is like, I know that there is an insane, unimaginable amount of like uncharitability towards what I do. People think that like, oh, you advocate for anti-capitalism. Like, you quite literally have to be socialist Jesus, right? And I try. I'm not. Clearly, I'm not. I have my issues. Like, I'm wearing a fucking Gucci suit right now. You know what I mean? This shit's expensive. I'm definitely rich. And I definitely do buy a lot of fancy, expensive shit. I love fashion. I'm a hedonist personally, and I've been one when I was broke, and I've been one now, right? So like all that stuff is very real, right? But people constantly use that as a aesthetic marker to say like, oh, socialism is fucking fraudulent and bad and wrong, and I can't stand that. How's that $10 million ad to his contract? Yeah. There were a lot of funny moments where like Train thought that I had $6 million in my bank account that I thought was funny. Like that he was just like at minimum. Like that was the lowest number he arrived at. I was like, bro, we are on different playing fields is what I understood. Like very clearly in that moment, I understood that like we are literally on different playing fields. Or when they were talking about 50K not being like a fucking big deal. And you know, that was incredible. That was funny. So shit. Bro, how did you see that? It's like invisible. It's not even hair. I think it's literally like a fabric from like a pillow or something. That's insane. Anyway. But you know, we'll do that. We'll do that coverage as well. All I'll say, yeah, the 50K joke part was like fucking wild. But all I'll say is this, okay? I need everyone I talk to. I need everyone I talk to always be open-minded. Always be open-minded, okay? That's it. That's the main thing. That's all I need. And I feel like I lose that on the grander scheme of things. A lot of people on Twitch just don't fucking like I've lost that over the course of many years of like, you know, calling out people when they deserve to be called out, shit like that. You also barely do ads and sponsors. They don't realize how much money you turn down. Yeah, I didn't lie about that, by the way. I turned down $500,000 to play poker on stream. Like literally that morning. It's the first and last time I will ever bring that up as far as like how much money comes in that I just don't do. But that is just straight up real. And I don't even have a fucking issue with poker. I just like don't know how to play poker. And all that shit. But regardless, man, you were way too accepting of Train's bullshit definitions of socialism and main character syndrome. Okay, you're gonna have issues with the way I conduct myself, no matter what. But all things considered, I think it was like a relatively difficult situation to navigate towards, to navigate through, and that's it. We were supposed to watch the fucking. We were supposed to watch the dog adoption vlog that Ostenox whipped up in a frenzy, literally overnight. Like stayed up overnight to fucking put together, but unfortunately we didn't have time to do that. So I apologize, but we will have time to do that today. I'm very excited to watch it. I literally wanted to watch it, but I chose purposely to not watch it. I wanted to watch it for the first time ever with you guys. So Alex Jones was on Crowder this AM and he mentions you so dank timestamp. Wait, really?
Which you used to.
Wait, why? Anyway, we'll talk about that as well. I did not know that, but I do love when Alex Jones, my fucking legend, my goat, he mentions me. Train baptizing charity as a system was pretty funny. Yeah, there was some funny ass moments in there. Maybe not even like on purpose. But you were incredibly charitable the whole time. You have to be. You literally have to be. No matter what you do, you have to be charitable. You have to maintain your composure, because the moment that you lose that, like I did, and I certainly did. The moment that you lose your composure, like you've lost, everyone's going to say you're fucking wrong. You got owned. You're emotional, therefore you lose. You know, that kind of thing. But why are you dressed up is a question I'm seeing in the chat. And that is because it's Donald Trump's arrest day, baby. Obviously, it's not going to happen, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to stop me from appreciating, celebrating, enjoying it. We are certainly going to do a lot of hog watch today because the hogs are oinking, brother. They're going, That's what's happening everywhere around the country. Now, even if we are, your half a car joke you made the XC that went straight over his head was gold. Yeah, I could have delivered that a little bit funnier, I think. Whatever. So yeah, we'll talk about all that in a second. But yeah, I went to sleep at like 2 a.m. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you, for all my parasocials, I tell you a little bit about what's going on in my life. Like I said, I went to sleep at 2 a.m. I woke up at 7 or almost 3 a.m. actually. And it was raining pretty fucking hard this morning. So I thought to myself, maybe I shouldn't go to the gym. I was like, you know what? Because my gym's outdoors. My trainer's gym is outdoors. For those of you who don't know, like, come on. I woke up with a headache, and you know that's not good. When you wake up with a fucking throbbing headache, you're like, oh no, I fucked up. This day's gonna be awful. But honestly, I sucked it the fuck up, and I ended up going. You know, hit the Versa climber, and obviously a double shot of espresso helped too. But hit the motherfucking Versa climber, and after that, did a push day today, and it was great overall. I feel fucking fantastic. The rain stopped in between that too, which was great. But yeah, ultimately, it was a good move to just continue and push through it. You know what I mean? I hope you guys can do that as well. If there's any kind of inspiration I can give you, it's always that you will always 100%, without a shred of doubt in my mind, you will always feel better if you push through some of the issues that you have and then hit the gym. Not to be like Super Sigma Grindset or anything, but yeah. What jacket is that? This was sent to me. It's another Gucci jacket. I don't even know how to like cut this shit off. A while ago, it's like actually too small, which is why I never wore it. But today I wanted to wear it to fucking, because it's a day of celebration, right? Gym is for rich people. That's not true. I was the most shredded and hit the gym the most when I was the most broke. So you're not right about that. You're wrong. Anyway. You look like day one from Chromeo with the sunnies. Thank you, lad. But yeah, no, it is too small. You can see that it's too small. It's like my biceps are cutting off circulation. But what else was I gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna update. I'm gonna post on my Insta. I'm gonna post a fit pic on my Insta, I think. So I'm gonna do that right now real quick before we blast off. Have you ever reacted to Rich Piana on stream? I don't think so. So what's happening? Is he actually getting arrested? No. Hold on. Boom, posted this shit on my Insta. Okay. Do I think he's gonna get actually arrested? No, you gotta get a soundboard and run the stream like a game show with your suit on. Okay, that's too much work, okay? Looked for clips of you commenting on Train and I couldn't find anything. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because it doesn't exist, Little Bear. And Little Bear is like literally the quintessential Hasanabi lore master. Bro, the funniest one was this. Hold on, where is it? There was like, XQC was like, I'm asking my bots. Okay. You know, he like where is it? When XQ says like I was asking my fucking bots, it's funny. MHUD found clips of me. This is from 2018 when I was doing reacts. Literally 2018, reacting to live television. Okay, while also fucking getting my ass beat on Fortnite. Like I've literally never not been a React Andy. Okay. Little Bear couldn't find a clip. Nobody could fucking find a clip of me apparently like shitting on Train for. You can't see? What do you mean? It's right here. It's like I'm on the corner. I had to get creative with it, brother. That's what I mean. This is literally my actual PlayStation camera that I put in front of my laptop where I was live streaming the congressional fucking hearings. I know what clip Train is talking about, by the way. Drag Me? What do you mean? And the funniest part is like, if I actually had talked about it, like if I had like made fun of him or something, or not made fun of him, but like genuinely was like calling for his cancellation or something for doing that, like I would literally apologize. You know what I mean? I said it. I said it then. I was like, bro, look, I think you're wrong about your recollection. Like if that's the case, if I like literally did this, don't play dumb. I know you said it. My demons told me you did. Oh my God, I thought you were being serious for a second. It was just like, I don't know. It did feel a little bad at first, but it ultimately devolved into, as it does with Train, just a fun, conversation where he was basically an anarcho-communist talking about how we need to abolish the government and no more centralized planning, but also like implement public education through mutual aid and like collectives, which is wild. Like he literally is he is like, if he read Kropotkin, it'd be over. He'd be the smelliest fucking anarcho-communist you've ever seen, okay? He would be so goddamn crusty. He would be a crust punk. Like he would literally be, oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. One of the funniest things though, that I personally consider hilarious here. Hold on here. I'll post too. Let me just real quick. Let me post up real quick on my blast off because we got to do that. We got to get that out of the way. But one of the funniest things was basically that he has OCD. I don't think smelly. No. I'm not saying he's smelly. I'm saying that, and it's a joke. It's a joke in our community that like, we make fun of anarchists and we say anarchists don't shower because showers are an unjustifiable hierarchy. There's a lot of memes, motherfucker. Everyone always knows that, like, you know, there is a million different. Oh, guys, all of you made Hoskare memes. Holy shit. Listen, there's a lot of memes in fucking Forsen, in the Forsen community. There's a lot of memes in the XQC community, but motherfuckers like don't understand. We have memes too, okay? Like we have memes too. They're just like a little bit more political. That's it. So sometimes when you don't understand something, it's not as serious. It's just most likely a meme. Okay. Anyway, so let's do it. Drama recap. Trump arrest day is upon us. Why didn't you? Is that why you didn't go back to the Anarchist Cafe in Japan? No, I really wanted to go. It just like I didn't have time. You know what I mean? Boom. Isn't that anarchists don't wash themselves the most played out joke from the right, or is it just a Greece thing? No, it's because like there have been people who unironic. Oh my god, I don't want to get into it. The meme is right-wing people don't even know what a fucking anarchist is to make that joke. What are you talking about? Right-wing people think anarchists are like terrorists, okay? And the meme itself is real. If you've ever fucking actually attended one of these things, if you've ever actually gone outside to go to a protest, like, you know, you'd know that the crust punk shit is real. You're getting shit on for apparently shitting on Train for watching MasterChef and also not setting up a healthcare charity was so funny, especially considering that you paid for a MasterChef contestant's surgery after reacting to the show. Yeah, that is... I didn't even think about bringing that up. Because then it would have literally been, you know, I'm doing it for clout or something. Anyway, we're blasting off. We're going crazy. Here it is. The funniest part about it is that, like, we make fun of, this is a leftist community. There's a lot of anti-capitalists from all different walks of life, all different, you know, creeds, backgrounds, shapes, and sizes, right? Which is precisely the reason why we do the most leftist fucking thing. And that is shit on other leftists internally and make jokes about it. Like, that's the point. Ultimately, I think people will realize that, like, ultimately, I think people will realize that it's not all that serious, okay? Anyway. I think this might be the clip about Train. You found it? You found a clip? I love that my own community possibly found it, if that's the case. But anyway, here, let's blast off first. You were spreading it to other people's places of work. The nurse at my job saw my computer before I closed the tabs and said, "Is this what that guy's name is, Hassan Piker? It's cooked for me, over, dunzo. I cannot walk into my place of work again." Why? Nurses love me. What the fuck? I am in the pocket, much like Bernie Sanders, of big nurse. Everybody fucking knows that. You know what I mean? Everybody knows that. I'm in the pocket of big nurse. Everybody knows that. Anyway, here's the memes. Here are the memes. We're gonna do Haas Care. If there was a clip, there's no way your CIA chatters wouldn't have found it yesterday. This shit's more secure than classified government documents. So you're telling me that he needs solid proof to feel the way he does? Not everything's a fucking debate, dude. Jesus Christ. But what we can debate that is the top of the hour and Train was right. Fuck you! That's crazy. This is allegedly the clip that Train is thinking of. There is 0% chance that, like, the clip itself is real, for the record. Like, as in, Train actually saw that and crafted it up after we know for a motherfucking fact that nothing got posted on LSF. I don't even know what this is about. Let's see what it is. Well, first of all, we'll this has 277 views. Holy shit. That clip is from the Pepela community who posted it on Reddit. Okay. This man was so hard in the paint, it was in 2017. Well, the reality is that in the year 2017, unfortunately for everybody else, I was actually not on the platform. So that kind of undermines his position. But here's the other thing. Trainwrecks actually shit on literally every other community, like, openly. He shit on XQC for calling him out. He shit on Destiny for calling him out at a certain point, I believe. He shit on a lot of people. I don't know if they actually even called him out. But notice how he has been adamant about making sure that it was actually me and me alone that was pushing for this, evangelizing the reactions when I myself am a reaction streamer. What is this? Oh yeah, I forgot. Top of the hour ad break, by the way. Got to fucking put that up. Train kept incrementing the dates from 2017 to 2020. Yeah. Anyway, I got to fucking hit that ad break real quick, of course, as always. You know, dirty, rugged capitalist man, big boy. We'll do the whole recap and then we'll get to this. Your merch in front of Trump Hotel. Let's go. I'm not going to be there, unfortunately, but like he said I was exploiting the Fox News workers or something. Which is a laughable notion. I don't think I've ever said that. Dude, bastard, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I desperately need you to look at this clip. No, we're not going to do that yet. Hold on. I also had my absolute best banger ad break segue last night. It will never be topped. It's probably the highest rated ad break segue of all time as well. Refuse to believe that there will ever be another ad break segue that is as good. I will be forever chasing that high. It was a 991. Anyway, but like I said, if you no longer want to see the ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $5 or free, or get gifted a sub. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. Okay, we're moving on from that. We have blasted off officially. Okay. Here you go. The pegging ad segue got a 998. Really? His critique, which was wrong, was that you had said he was exploiting the Fox TV workers for reacting to MasterChef. Yeah, I have peaked. I don't think I'll be able to top that. Okay, so there's a lot of fucking clips on it, but originally we started off the conversation by talking about my editor, Austinox. Austinox, as everyone in this community knows, notoriously is sometimes, I mean, he's an independent person. He's an independent person in and of itself. He is the type of person that he's the type of person that sometimes even pops off on me, whether intentionally or unintentionally. The whole thing that he represents you is not true. He's just an editor. I mean, he is my editor, right? I mean, he works with me most frequently. He's a member of this community. Okay, I will own up to that. And if Austinox was saying something that was that I had an issue with, that I saw and had an issue with and covered, I would personally, openly fucking, wait, what is this? Caught in 4K? Okay, we'll look at this in a second. But I would personally, talk to him. Right? So that's the thing. That's the reality. He was upset because Austinox had made an assertion that the timing of his charity corresponded to him, getting a lot of flack for the Gamba stuff, which is his own assertion to make. I'm not going to fucking yell at him for that. But my own personal opinion on the matter is, regardless of whether or not it was for PR or whatever the fuck, it's still a good thing overall. Okay? Obviously, it's understandable that people will have criticisms if it's directly contributing to the problem. But regardless, I would not sit there and fucking check my editor or tell him to shut the fuck up or anything like that. That is like profoundly against what I believe. Okay? I think this is something that Train and XQC, if they want to, should have a conversation directly with him if they want to do that. If Austinox is even up for it, I don't know. If he wants that kind of smoke, I would not. Right? So yeah, it was it is what it is, but apparently this was one of the things. This was one of the clips that he posted.
My number one, which is like my head mod or head editor, was spewing dog shit and derailing shit and just spewing.
Like, Art has like talked shit about me, made jokes about me before. You know what I mean? That's XQC's like, you know, main editor. He's a funny dude. He talks shit about me all the fucking time as a joke, which is fine. You know what I mean? I don't really give a shit. XQC's entire fucking community does that. Like, you know, I would wish for him to be at least a little bit more, you know, moderate a little bit more in his community when they're like going off the fucking rails saying that I'm a scumbag piece of shit. You know what I mean? But a lot of my mods are even fans of Felix too. Regardless.
Absolute dog shit out of his mouth, right? And attacking other streamers and derailing their programs. I would be like, yo, bro, like the fuck are you doing? That charity should be separate. That charity is a system that you would think you and even people that do not like me would support. It's not my charity. It's a system created to
wait. Hold on. I'm lost.
So when I announced the mental health...
You originally were talking about like Hasanabi's doing the gamble video, right? Like that. That's
what
I thought he was mad about.
We're talking the derailment
funny.
We're talking the derailment of the mental health care program, right? All the slander, the pumping of disinformation onto Twitter and onto Reddit and onto...
His editor titled the original sexual assault debate you had with XQC and Train and named the Hasan argues in bad faith. Yeah, dude. I mean, oh, that's an even better one, actually. God damn, where was this last night when I needed you, okay? Yeah, dude, you're right. Did he change that? Yeah, look. Look at this. Look at this. XQC's own editor literally posted this saying, Hasan argues in bad faith, backfires when Adriana and Train show up. 300,000 people almost watched that shit. Come on, dog. I mean, listen. I think that's like fucked up for XQC to you know, put out there because I think it's false. You know what I mean? XQC is right. Hasan is a snake. Discussion. I mean, come on. He doesn't ever look at his YouTube? Well, I literally control what Hasanabi says on his own fucking free time. Significantly less than XG does with his editor, so. But they also shit on X2. Yes, they are unhinged. Yes. Anyway. So, that's a brief aside. None of this matters ultimately, okay? The Hasans are... Yeah, the Hasan shit is whatever. Part of these titles is just clickbait because you're such a target for a certain demographic. I know. And I've actually talked to XQC about this privately. About how every time he like brings up something disingenuous, what happens in the background to me and to my loved ones is very different. That was one of the conversations. That was one of the private conversations that I had. It's not something I like to talk about personally. And publicly, but what ends up happening doesn't just like end up with like him being like, you're fucking biased and you're a socialist hypocrite or whatever, when even he just admit when you're wrong. It's not that hard. Are you telling me that? I admit that I'm wrong all the time. People bully me for it. Anyway, people will say I'm backtracking, and I get very upset at that too when people say, oh, you're backtracking. Even as an XQC fan, I typed in chat defending you, and then multiple juices DM me threatening to dox me, lol. Yeah, juices go a little wild. But ultimately, like, I don't think I'm going to get any charitability from LSF or Reddit in general. But I think part of it is because, like, they found someone that they hate more than me, which was of course, Train. And that, like, it was objectively an unhinged conversation that was supposed to be, like, I was trying to be as you know, as understanding and as like calm as possible. I'm on 25 months of the XC and I was in there literally with him pulling me up. You should see how they almost keylogged my Discord. What? I just don't know why juicers fucking hate me as much when like their juice lord is not as big as a hater. I mean, he pops off whenever I call him out or whatever, which ironically, some of those juice lords also agree with me when I call him out. But they just like they're like obsessively and aggressively fucking being like, no, you can't even like this person. And I don't know what it is. Anyway. I missed it, but why did you talk to Train? This doesn't seem worth it. I mean, there was a couple things that I did want to address, like him trying to implicate me in covering up like sexual assault or like minimizing sexual assault or something like that, which he did apologize for, which we got that out of him. So that's fair is fair. That's great. I'm glad that he did that. There was some other stuff that like is a nonstop ongoing thing. The thing is, like, this idea that I'm a snake, this idea that I'm a hypocrite, this idea that I'm fucking just like an awful person has been ongoing on Twitch for a while now. And it does diminish my capacity to get people to understand the things that I advocate for. So I have to do whatever I can to combat that. You know what I mean? Like any kind of forum that I can get in front of where those audience members are going to be like a little bit more charitable to what I'm saying. Bro said you streamed in 2017. Yeah, I know. I never did, but it's fine. Ultimately, I got to take any fucking opportunity I can. There's nothing I can do. Like I'm always facing an uphill battle. Not to say that like oh my God, my life is so difficult. It's not. It's awesome, right? But I am firmly aware that I will always be facing an uphill battle no matter what happens. So you just sometimes got to fucking suit up and boot up and have these kinds of conversations where, the mediator might not necessarily be on your side all that much or the other side might be there to like try to humiliate me or pick apart anything I do for the sake of like feeling better about themselves or something. So it is what it is. It's just the reality. I recognize that. But there were some funny moments that came out of that, especially one of the best parts about it was like, I think towards the end when we were just having a normal conversation, which is my favorite type of shit, is just having a normal ass conversation where we're just like fucking around, XQC, not realizing, but like accidentally advocating for eugenics or something. You know what I mean? But like, it's not serious, obviously, and don't take it seriously. But that kind of shit was great. Trainwrecks advocating for fucking anarcho-syndicalism or anarcho-communism, right? But I do want to go back to that. I do want to have the conversation again with both of them, as a matter of fact, because I thought it was really good. I want to talk to both of them about like what kind of right-wing ideas they think should be implemented. Because one of the best parts, and this is like, one of the best parts. Yeah, this was, I think, the first time Train was like talking shit about me. That was literally 4 years ago. One of the best parts was, it's basically the same belief that I have that like most people have like leftist anti-capitalist values, right? As long as you just don't communicate it as anti-capitalist. Like, the moment that they would bring up like a right-wing value, it was like an objectively left-wing value, especially in like the American sense. And they would go, wait, the moment that I would say like, well, that's not right-wing at all, they would go, oh, well, fuck, I don't know. So that's always like, that's always a really funny thing that I think blows open the understanding, the understanding of like the American sensibilities of politics. That's why it's so much like Red Scare is so successful and has been so successful. Like a century of anti-communist, anti-socialist propaganda has been so successful that people literally believe in like left-wing things internally, like sharing is caring, right? But then they fucking despise it when you call, this is it. This is when you call it left-wing. They go, no, fuck that. You know, America's the most propagandized country in history because everyone hates their boss, hates their job, and thinks the government is completely in the pocket of big business, and yet everyone still claims to love capitalism. What Americans do end up hating is not the capitalist who lords over us or the politician who colludes with them, but a secret third thing, the Chinese. Yeah. Exactly. Like, people basically have like made up their minds that socialism is such a bad thing, it's such a bad word, it's such a no word, and like capitalism is so good that like they're literally terrified that they're gonna come out as like someone who's an SJW or a liberal. Hasanabi, the right-wing issues, tried feeding him was abortion and immigration, and XQ's probably to the left on those issues. Yeah, of course. That's why I said, what kind of right-wing issues do you believe in? You look like you stole that suit from your dad. This would imply that my dad is much smaller than me because this suit is ill-fitting, but not in the way that it would be someone who is, someone who's larger. Anyway, this was probably the Ostonox stuff was whatever. It was one thing. We didn't really come to a conclusion on that.
Your community on Twitch.
You're upset that Ostonox said that you set up your charity to whitewash your reputation after people were criticizing you for gambling. Is that correct? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, I told him to sue him if he thinks it's defamatory. But Hassan said that just heard Train got on a 5-hour customer service call to the manager to complain that I'm not nice enough to him on Twitter. He could always unblock me to DM and explain where I misrepresented him with funding a mental health care fund while promoting a gambling addiction. It's pretty funny to see Train believe so deeply that you are responsible for your opinions and actions of the people you employ while I'm watching Aiden Ross on his kick contract pay a kid $10K to piss in a bowl and pour it on his sister on the other tab. Luckily, an exec at Kick texted Aiden that piss was too far, so we had to settle for condiments and spit instead, which to me indicates someone's been watching Aiden do all this Nazi shit and thought, no need to intervene. The biggest mental health care investment Trainwreck could make is to pay me to never open Kick again. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on Aiden's side like that is worthy of an entirely different conversation, which I also brought up in our combo as well. But the Ostonox thing ultimately didn't fucking go anywhere because, I'm not in the business of like, of implementing editorial control on people that I work with, right? That's not going to happen. Like, this motherfucker literally made a YouTube compilation of all the times he canceled me out of spite, knowing full well, like, canceled me as a joke, knowing full well that, like, it damages me internally and mentally. Also, I don't think anyone thinks their employer should control their speech either, for the record. But yeah, then we moved on. That was the first issue. Second issue was Trainwrecks saying, like, you definitely... Trainwreck saying that I definitely was, like, leading the cause of, like, shitting on him for Gordon Ramsay Reacts. And I think this was it. Okay, but you gotta bring something here because I am telling you,
I'm bringing my memory.
God,
that's what I'm bringing.
No, you can't.
You expected me to have clips from 6 years ago on hand.
I said this on stream. If I've said this on stream, you should be able to, like, literally. You've been talking about it since. Wait, did you say 2017?
I said like end of 2017, 2018. It was when I was still living with Mitch. That's when
I literally started streaming like consistently in the second half of 2018. I started my first day streaming was 2018, I think March. I did not know who you were back then.
Yeah,
I had no idea who you were.
That's what I'm saying. I was so when I started.
Why would I have talked about you? I don't know who you are. I didn't know anything about Twitch.
The Gordon Ramsay.
He had his Papagan army and the entirety of DGG. I saw that as well. Look up clips to try and find me shitting on Train to be like, if we find one thing, like, it's over, right? Which also personally doesn't even like make sense because I literally fucking said, if I have said that, I'm in the wrong. If I have said that, if they found a clip, I'd be like, I'm very sorry for saying that. I don't think that this is as like big of an evangelist as you thought I was. Like, the gambling shit is like, consistent. But if I like if you think I like weaponized my audience or something, you tried. Like, if I didn't try, they tried. Okay, for someone who doesn't play poker, you called that bluff. It's not even a bluff. I don't think it's a bluff. I don't think you guys understand. One thing I do think is that Train is genuine in his opinions. Whether it's his own demons that told him that, like, I was doing this to him, or whether he, like, read an offhanded remark and he, like, immediately said Hasan is responsible for this. I think he's genuine. I think he genuinely thinks that I, like, have been doing this. Okay? Which is funny because, like, back then I had, you know, who is your core audience from 2017? I was not on Twitch on 2017. I didn't even know what the fucking platform was. But in 2018, it was like fucking, you know, I was maxing out on like 200 viewers. You know what I mean? 2019, I mean. So that notion is like, is wild. And maybe it's like a Mandela effect or something. Bro, you are a gaslight victim and you believe it. Ha ha ha. I don't believe it. I don't remember. I don't recall. You know, I'm doing 10-hour streams non-fucking stop for the past couple of years now. It's gonna be hard for me to remember every single thing that I said. And by the way, during that time, I had like 15 appearances on Scuffed. A lot of people don't remember this, but I literally would go on his podcast all the time because I was a small streamer, you know, up and coming. Obviously, you know, I took advantage of any opportunity I had to like speak to a larger audience. But not only that, but I would literally do like 3 of his shows in 1 week. I'd be like doing advice. I'd be doing fucking, you know, Scuff podcasts. I'd be doing a lot of shit, right? So, what is this? This subreddit, this post on XQC. This post on XQC subreddit actually sums up how Juicers felt. XQC editors had enough of it. Someone tell little bro it's time for games. No one cares about this dead ass. Anyway, so yeah, I even brought Felix Biederman on Scuff, which was funny, and totally separate. But you know, it's just like this was crazy. Like he tried as hard, like everybody tried as hard as they could to find something, and they couldn't. But even if they had found something, in the off chance that like there was literally a video out there of me shitting on Train, like objectively, like being like, fuck Train, he's a bad guy, whatever. Okay, like I can't believe he did this or anything like that, and then I would apologize for it, right?
I started the reacting stuff like 2017, end of 2017, beginning of 2018, all the way through to 2019, right? And that's when you guys, you and other streamers, pushed on to the hate because I was getting a lot of attention.
Okay, but so that was like the main point of contention here, which I think everyone basically once they couldn't find anything, they were like, all right, fuck this shit, right? Comments surprisingly were on my side, which is wild. There were some really funny moments in there, though. Like, I think where he was saying, like, facts? Why are you bringing facts? Like, why are you saying, I don't need evidence is the funniest thing I've seen in a while? You're trying to disprove my memory with facts. You know, there was some great moments there. Like, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Train is unintentionally and sometimes intentionally very funny. Okay? This is, like, even if the situation at hand is, like, super serious, or not so serious because it's just basically me like trying to defend my history, okay, in a 2v1 scenario. You know, ultimately, like I just want to correct the record, and if it was supposed to be about like making amends, like I want to correct the record and you know, apologize if I said something that was like fucked up, okay. Said something that I think like truly conflicts with my values, because I might fuck up. I'm a human being. You know what I mean? The worst part is like people I know are never going to be charitable. Even if I fuck up and apologize for something, people are just going to be like, no, you're a hypocrite. Like we found it. We found the one moment where you were hypocritical or something. Anyway, but yeah, this was pretty funny.
Then to intake an idea from the get-go. It's just how it is. It's why what? Okay. Now we can move on from that. I think you apologize for that. That was fine because you made more about you guys than the topic at hand. I had to apologize for that initially a while back. I think the whole site was fucking absolutely shit, dumbhead. I think I'm not gonna blame the people, but I think things escalated and make things that since they're live made things like completely just getting things crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, he went a little wild on this one. He went Winston main mode pretty hard. I didn't even understand what the fuck was going on here.
People say says you. I mean, I tried to pull out, and people saying, "Oh, so silent now." So I think it was so cooked up. Okay, who am I talking to? I don't know. I think these are watching comments on Reddit. I don't.
Anyway, there was a funny. I don't know. My one of my favorite moments was literally when XQC brought up. There was like a, both sides have some rights and both sides have some wrongs. I was like, what do you mean both sides? Like, what the fuck? I've made like I brought like so many pieces of evidence to the fucking table. Like, I don't know what else I can do in that situation. Where was it? Oh yeah, here. This is it. This is the one where that was actually funny. There's no evidence, but agree to disagree.
Actually, on this issue, there's no supporting evidence of Train's point and a little bit of supporting of Hasan's counterpoints. That he's there a little bit, brother. Saying, yo guys, I'm kind of a React Andy it's not a big stance, okay?
Well,
it's a little bit...
that's not what I showed. I showed you consistently a long, verifiable, documented history of like being an advocate for abolishing IP, showing you consistently that I have abolished my own IP restrictions in my own community with the own content that I personally create, shown you that like other people have criticized me for reacting to shit, showed you that I even got DMCA'd with a false DMCA claim for reacting to Gordon Ramsay, showed you a Twitter thread where I actually defended Trainwrecks being the original MasterChef React Andy.
That was years after. That was the year you guys began watching it. You understand?
So
okay.
I haven't switched you guys.
Let's agree.
And then like that, it ended with let's
disagree, and we can move on.
Wait, what? No,
well, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm trying to.
Like that was wild, dude. Come on, brother. I know. Look, I know exactly what Felix was doing here, and I know what he's gonna say tomorrow. Okay, listen, dude. Listen, I know, dude, that Hasan was in the right, dude. Okay, but I wanted to make amends, dude. So I was trying to help out Train a little bit, dude. Okay. Otherwise, he's gonna feel like you know how he is, and then chat starts spamming schizo in the fucking chat. You know how he is, dude. Listen, dude. He's just gonna start getting derailed, dude, and then it's gonna be really difficult. So I was just trying to do my very best by just helping him out when he needed it. Okay. That's what he's gonna say. Like straight up, that is the fucking thing that he's gonna say. That's what he thought he was doing, okay? Chad is gonna, like I said, spam fucking schizo, spam 2v1 still lost, that kind of thing, all that shit, okay? But I mean, it was ultimately fine. Worst impression, I understood everything you just said. Yeah, whatever. What is this? It's funny because your pattern of behavior regarding IP isn't applicable, but your pattern of behavior that doesn't exist against Train is. Yeah, he was definitely not doing a good job mediating, which even the juicers understood and were like getting, making fun of XQC for. But anyway. Last night was the first time I ever saw X's chat being partial to you until you said something about it and they stopped. Yeah, I know. The juicers were like, hold up. We are fucking defending this dirty commie who has disrespected our juicer at a certain point. Anyway, it is what it is. I think I can reach out to the juicers. Okay. I'm a believer. I'm still a believer. You nailed it calling things Reddit energy when you flipped the script, and that was the moment that immediately called you overreacting or something. Apparently, it's only crazy when you do it to defend yourself. Yeah. So, but it was extremely Reddit to just like pull all of these talking points directly from Reddit while also simultaneously talking about how I have an outsized audience on Reddit, like hitting him. You know what I mean? So we didn't really come to a close on me supposedly like running the crusade against Train. There was one clip from. Does anyone have that? Does anyone have the Trainwrecks subreddit post of me making a joke about Greek? Oh, shameless fuckingness, Uncut in 4K. This is many years after, by the way. This is a year ago when I think Train was still claiming that I was like making fun of him.
They can do it full time.
This is a show that no longer exists, for the record, where I'm having this conversation and I'm literally making fun of Greek personally. Okay, are you ready for this?
They can do it full time.
The bad thing
Yeah,
about
it's quite
streaming
easy. Just do a few squatties here and there, and you should be a job, mate.
Full
Oh
time.
my god.
Yeah,
Greek.
instead you should take a book out of Greek's page here and just watch YouTube videos all day and go.
Hey,
Oh god.
Aloha!
They were like caught in. This was their evidence that I was like shitting on. This was the evidence that I was like shitting on React Andy and shitting on Train. I think that's what they were saying. Okay, they were like this joke. Okay, this joke against Greek. Not even, and Train is right there. Why am I not shitting on Train if this is like something I care about? But this joke was what, like, this meme on a show that no longer exists, but if you know what I mean, this meme was conclusive evidence that I was like fucking shitting on the concept of React Andy being a React Andy when I myself have been a React Andy from the fucking jump. Okay. But yeah, apparently the Brain Trust finally found a fucking clip. This is the one that they're talking about. Apparently, this is it. This is the smoking gun. And I'm ready to apologize if this is the smoking gun that they think it is. So let's take a look at what this clip is.
Apologize for that.
What do you mean? I'm not your fucking favorite React streamer, okay? Go watch Trainwrecks if you want him to watch. If you want to watch uninterrupted cooking streams, okay?
That's it?
Jesus Christ. My bad, bro.
I'm literally reacting. It's a joke. That's not the fucking... There's no way Train saw this and he thought this is the reason.
Watch me. 15K Andy. 15K has, or that was even more than that. 15K. That's, she was in here typing unless during the Daft Chip stream though. Yeah, but that was 15K. That's different. 15K Andy. 15K has, or that was even more than that. 15K Hasan is a total.
This VOD was recently uploaded 3 weeks ago. Yeah, finally. Yeah, this VOD is from this VOD's from 2019. Recently uploaded 3 weeks ago. This is the crusade. This is what they're saying.
Totally different beast. Okay.
Someone is just shitting on me pausing. That's it. Like they're like while I'm reacting to a video and I'm making a joke. That's it. That's the big crusade. It's a Hasanabi joke. That is crazy that they thought that this is the smoking gun. This is what y'all got. I mean, hey man, I'm so sorry. Guys, I can't believe it. The Brain Trust found it. They got me in 4 fucking K. Now, ultimately, like I said, there might actually be a fucking clip out there. I don't know. Okay? I don't think so. But I've been fucking gaslit so hard. Maybe there is one. I don't even fucking know. And if there is one, I will apologize. This, unfortunately, is not it.
Changes people.
Leave this on
It's
your
not
screen.
just like a pokey thing. It's just like everyone watches 15K streams. Come on, bro.
I'm literally saying, I'm talking about
that 15K be hitting different, dude. You pause so fucking much.
I'm sorry.
All right, bitch. I'm sorry.
I apologize for that.
What do you mean? I'm not your fucking favorite React streamer, okay? Go watch Trainwrecks if you want him to watch. If you want to watch uninterrupted cooking streams, okay?
By the way, I think I was already reacting to Gordo at this point too. Like I think I had already started reacting to Gordo before this even. What the fuck gives Train the authority to tell you what socialists should do? He didn't read any theory, nor does he have any understanding of history or how systematic change accrues. So it doesn't matter. Train is closer to like the average American's lack of understanding of what socialism is. So I will use him as a perfect example.
Jesus Christ. My bad, bro. We're fucking doing transformative content here. All right?
This is what is known as a joke, by the way, guys. I hope everybody understands that. This is what is known as a joke, considering that I'm also reacting. Like I said, I know that one of the number one things that people love doing this, one of the number one things that people like to do is like, well, my interlocutor clearly has no capacity to make a joke, so I'm going to take everything he says 100% seriously in order to stretch and extend as aggressively as I can. But again, like, we went down to the minutia. We are looking at literally fucking, like, we're looking at literally fucking, like, scouring through hours and hours and hours of fucking VOD content to try to find something at this point. No content creator on the fucking planet has ever been subjected to this level of scrutiny. Okay? I'm sorry. That's not a real thing. We are having an unironic witch hunt about like a joke that I'm making about pausing that is being misconstrued in the circumstance, and it doesn't fucking make sense. It doesn't make sense that like this is so normalized that like even then when you can't find anything, it doesn't matter. I'm still angry. It sucks. It sucks. I just want to, two things I want. If you fucking hate me, just leave me alone. Okay? And the second thing is, if you don't hate me, but you have people in your fucking communities that hate me, then, you know, be a little bit more charitable if you see something. Because in a lot of instances, people are just like very disingenuously clipping shit. Okay? Obviously, I'm talking about like my own community. My own community clearly doesn't have anything. My own core community unironically understands why people hold the grudges and the way that they hold the grudges and how aggressively hold it. I think it's a little bit. I think it's you're literally doing the Jon Stewart on Crossfire. I'm a content creator defense. Train as Tucker Lamau. What? Kind of wild. You're having to do the Jon Stewart on Crossfire. I'm a content creator defense. I mean, it's not even that. It's just, it sucks that like the world of public perspective. Well, what ended up, it's popular to hate you. That happened on my own. I did that. I played a role in creating that by responding to so many people. Okay. By responding to every single disingenuous remark over and over again. I definitely played a role in that. Okay. I banned a lot of people that would come in here and chirp. Okay. And ultimately it created like a massive community of haters. Obviously, some people also make money off of that, right? Like shitting on me. There's a big community of you know, haters who pop off every time I'm mentioned anywhere. Okay. But you know, there's a litany of different things. I mean, there's people who disagree with me politically. All I'm asking for is charitability. That's it. In a year of watching you, the only 2 times a community organized outside of charities is r/plays, and you getting banned off the other place. I'm sorry, this is a ghost hunt. Yeah. But yeah, haven't made a cent from lying about you hating gays. I mean, yeah, that's true. There is not a lot of money there because a lot of people hate the gays, actually. So, yeah. So, I mean, ultimately, it basically came to two points here, okay? 2 main points before we got to like the fun shit, okay? Which another incredibly disingenuous comment was brought up, which I'm going to get to, but I mean, I popped off a little bit, and not in a positive way. I think this was a weak moment for me, and I shouldn't have like
of
gone
that
this
hope.
hard.
Oh, well, that's not
You're not selling
socialism.
false hope? Yeah, because you said
I'm not,
what?
no.
That gambling is bad. Whoa, book, gambling is bad. Meanwhile,
Yep.
Like he was trying to tell me
you generate-
as a socialist, like, or as an anti-capitalist, like I'm profiting off of like selling false hope to people as though I'm just like a fucking gospel preacher, like a prosperity gospel preacher, when in fact I'm very pessimistic and really, really honest, perhaps too brutally honest about how difficult things are. What do I always say? Society prospers when old men plant seeds for trees they will never sit in the shade of. It will be an emotionally fulfilling cause for you, even if you do not see the actual benefits, the tangible benefits, right? You are Joel Osteen argument. Exactly. It's very frustrating because nobody in here thinks that giving me $5 to subscribe is actually going to yield like immediate benefits for them in any meaningful capacity beyond not seeing ads at the top of the hour and also just financially supporting this broadcast and maintaining my editorial independence and allowing me to fucking go and do different kinds of content, whatever the fuck I want to do, right? Nobody, I'm not doing an ad break right now. I'm not. I'm just stating facts. Like people don't voluntarily donate $5 or not even donate, like literally subscribe because they think that like this is going to bring about revolutionary socialism through the vanguard. No one does that. It is a made up thing, and I totally fucking despise how much I have to address like schizophrenic fucking talking points that people have come up with on their own minds in the same exact way that Train was doing here, but also in the same exact fucking way. Hassan Lurker, Strumdog, and Jolene Kujojo, thank you for the 5 get the subs, by the way. But in the same exact way that, like, you know, people who chirp on Twitter, like the anarchists, the crusty anarchists, the rad libs on Twitter do. And you generate hundreds almost of millions of dollars, maybe half of that.
I get paid for exclusivity. I don't get paid off of others losing.
Totally, dude. Totally. Exactly. Also, on top of that, I do wish you well on Kick. I really do.
Yo, it's
Pipes. Thank you for the 10 gift subs.
I want a competitor to Twitch because I think that would make the platforms overall better. But make no mistake, ironically, you started off talking about how you hated how much titty streamers or fucking hot tub streamers and the meta was awful. And now you got porn on your platform. Now you got one of your main poster boys at Kick showing porn to minors. So maybe you now recognize the importance of moderation, especially as it pertains to an overall platform.
Wait. Let me respond to that. First of all, me going on rants about titty streamers 4 years ago.
Were you tired playing with Train? No, I mean, the reason why I fucking popped off on him here was because like I was sick and tired of like talking to a fucking brick wall, dude. Like it took me hours and hours to describe one single fucking point about socialism, right? And Train would not listen to me. He would turn around, okay? Train would not listen to me, and he would just basically turn around and go, "Oh, well, you know, fucking systems." Which is not a charity. He would just say, no, systems does not equal charity, but let me describe to you a charity by calling it a system. And at a certain point, like when he started like, you know, using disingenuous talking points to try and like pick apart every little thing I do, when I gave him examples of like how I actually work, how I actually operate, you know, he just, like, it got to a point where I was like, it built up to a point where I basically was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, this is crazy. I feel like I've taken crazy pills. I feel like I'm arguing against, I'm arguing in the direction of a brick wall, and I cannot do anything. I cannot describe anything to him. You know what I mean? But when you give any amount to charity, you're just giving a percentage of your income to charity. You're such a dumb fuck. Yeah, that was another talking point that I consider to be a little disingenuous as well, which was the pocket watching in regards to the the pocket watching in regards to the charity thing, which was like they considered this to be an alt.
This is very important. No, hold on. This is very important to address.
Yes.
What you're doing right now is not genuine criticism. It's just pocket watching and also undermining something that I did. That
the pocket
it wasn't even
is
supposed to.
based on what you preach.
No, hold on. No, that's bullshit. You're just pocket watching and then claiming that it's actually adequate to do so because you claim you're a socialist. No, I already described to you numerous fucking times what socialism is. Charity is not that. Pocket watching like a fucking blue-haired, non-binary Twitter user anarchist and being like, why don't you give all of your money and live in a fucking woodshed is not actually socialism. A lot of dumb motherfuckers on Twitter say that all the time to me, and I yell at them. Just because you're not...
Why is that example the comeback, some extreme rebuttal of,
because you sound like them, but you look like an ape, so no one thinks that you're like exactly behaving like them. But you are doing that, Train. You gotta stop.
Brother.
Pocket watching for me means something else. How are you using it? Pocket watching is like is like what you are spending your money on, like looking at someone else and like calculating their expenditure, which ironically this subreddit also engaged in. I read the comments, but some of them were really funny because again, whenever you deal with a content creator, regardless of whether you're disingenuous or regardless of whether you're genuine or not, there's always going to be members of other communities that despise you, that go to work to be like, I'm going to prove that he's actually a hypocrite. So what did the people find? This is a good question, right? What did they find to go back and say, oh, it's pocket watching? First and foremost, I just want to mention something. I want to mention something really quickly. $50,000 is a lot of money by every metric, okay? I think, personally. Regardless of how much you make, it's a lot of money. It's more money than most average people fucking make. It's more money than I made the first 2 years that I worked the job, okay? So that's number one. Do I make a lot more than that now? Absolutely, okay? $50,000 for one charity that I am putting together, one fundraiser that I'm putting together, is just $50,000. In between that $50,000 since the turkey fundraiser, I've already dropped more than $25,000 in the adoption thing that I was doing this weekend. So like clearly, it's just one fundraiser out of many fundraisers. Since then, and I do have the capacity to be able to do this sort of thing, okay? Since then, I donated another, like, I hate this. I hate, like, talking about where I fucking donate. It's so annoying. Yes, since then, I also gave $10,000 to Juniper's Trans Lifeline charity as well, Trevor Project Trans Lifeline charity as well, when I went on her stream to I'm not even remembering this shit and you're remembering it for me. Whether it be Ludwig's charity or whether it be my other friends' charities, I donate a lot. Just because I'm not fucking constantly chirping about it doesn't change anything. And I don't like it. I don't like that like we're talking about this shit. And it's very, very, very frustrating, okay? But the funniest thing that people found, people think if you don't virtue signal and post everything you do, it doesn't happen. Exactly. When I did it privately, okay? When I did it privately, people would constantly, the very same people who now say that, I'm doing it for a flex, used to say, I don't do it. Why doesn't he do it publicly? So we can get other people on board, so we can do fundraising, so we can actually boost these charities. It would be great. So I started doing some of it publicly, okay? So I started doing some of it publicly. Now they say it's just a flex. Okay? It's just a flex. You're doing it to do PR. Ultimately, it doesn't fucking matter. Elden Ring Ukraine charity was huge too. People remember what you've done, even if you don't think so. Keep going. Yeah, abortion funds, bail funds. This community has raised a lot of money. I've given a lot of money out of pocket as well to a lot of charities, both publicly and privately. It ultimately doesn't fucking matter. Strike funds. There's so much. Union funds. I do practice what I preach, even though that part of it is just that I have the capacity to do so. That's it. Because I have the capacity to do so, I'm doing it. Not because I think that's socialism. And I cannot stress this enough. Okay? I'm not a politician. I'm not a fucking CEO. I'm not like socialist Jesus. And charity is not socialism. You have privately donated to my union. I got receipts if you need, fam. Which union are you? I don't even remember. I don't know. Which union are you talking about? Police. He's gonna be like, police union. Anyway, so the thing is, that's a lot higher proportion of your income than XQC and Train assume based on theirs. They assume that you make close to the amount of money they make, and that's simply not true. Yeah, exactly. That was the final culmination, I think. But ultimately, listen. None of that matters, because the hypocrisy argument is fucking silly as well. The hypocrisy argument is ridiculous, but people still do it because they think it's a very effective way to do it. Okay? There are people who like made arguments as to like how much money I'm generating, how much revenue I'm generating, and how tiny of a proportion that is. But one of the funniest ones was a tweet that a tweet that I had about Mark Zuckerberg doing PR, okay, for himself, for his new 501c4 that he had established to dump all of his funds into so it was non-taxable, so he could keep churning revenue for himself, but without any sort of fucking taxes, so he could trade favors, right? So this guy said, and here it is, I always remembered these types of tweets when he donates a small percentage of his money. Okay? No, you don't understand. He's a billionaire, so it's different. Hasan is only a multimillionaire. That's pretty much nothing. Okay? And the tweet is this. So that would be 0.05% of his wealth. Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan and Bill Gates fund 25 million coronavirus research group. Imagine if your friend who made $75,000 last year gave $33 to a coronavirus charity and then wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. The PR push behind this is the billionaire version. Also, the proportions are the same. Now, the $50,000 in this circumstance, okay, and I'm more so talking about how billionaires love doing PR, right? It's like they do press releases. Nah, many years ago in Atlanta. Oh, okay. Anyway, I don't remember, but I hope you're doing all right. Anyway, listen. I literally don't remember. But the point is this, okay? It's not even necessarily the fact that these guys like gave such a small, minuscule percentage, right? It's more so the fact that they are getting earned media and paid media out of it. They're doing it so that New York Times writes about it. They're doing it so that CBS News writes about it, okay? That's the point. Okay, it does look a little hypocritical. Well, if you think that that's a little hypocritical, then let me explain to you a little bit further. They do this specifically, it's a minuscule percentage of their wealth overall, but they do it specifically with the express purpose of either literally putting their entire funds into a 501c4, which Mark Zuckerberg and Priscilla Chan did, right, in order to literally motivate politicians to do whatever the fuck they want and have it not as a tax write-off in the way that you guys understand it, because a lot of people will say, oh, dude, you made a contribution, that's a tax write-off. You guys have no idea what this is. This is something entirely different. This is the actual tax avoidance. It's not a tax write-off. When you take all of your stocks and move it in to a 501c4, which is a political operation, okay, you could just use the 501c4 funds to do whatever the fuck you want. You can buy a yacht. You can buy whatever the fuck you want, okay? But it's non-taxable. It's a tax shelter, okay? Now, not only do they do that, very famously so, we've covered it a lot of times on this broadcast, okay? But they also do it to get PR on it, right? Good press. You can say, Hasan, you are pocket watching in this circumstance. What the fuck? And to that I would respond, and someone did the math for me so I don't have to do it because they thought that this was a funny own. Okay? For me to have donated the equivalent of my percentage of wealth, if 50,000 was all I donated this year, which we already established that that's not the case. It's going to be much more than that, but it doesn't matter. But if you put that into percentage of income for me, that would mean I'm making $125 million a year. So, like, they are trying to compare me to Mark Zuckerberg's $25 million charity fund that he established, which I don't even have a problem with that. At the time, I said, that's great. That's awesome. I'm glad that they're doing it. But it's the PR coverage that I'm talking about surrounding it. Okay? So you're conflating net worth and income point stands, but not the same thing. If you consider the difference between a percentage of my overall net worth, whatever you think that my net worth is, I don't have any fucking assets, dog. I have a house that I pay a fucking mortgage on, and that's it. Every single other thing is just my yearly wages that come from the fucking subscriptions, which people voluntarily give me to avoid the top of the hour ad break, by the way. Okay? Which comes at the top of every hour. But you think my net worth is $125 million? Is that what you think? And that's just one. That's just one charity. Anyway. And this is another good one. 50,000 is 2.5% of his pre-tax income. Now let's take the median income of an individual, 45K. An equivalent median American tax bracket would be a $1,125 donation. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of fucking money. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. That is the point. The point is that, like, people are, like, they're shocked. No shot you're pretending like Hasan's subs are his only income source. The overwhelming majority of my income, almost the entirety of it, comes from subscriptions. Okay? From voluntary subscriptions that people don't even have to fucking give or gift or buy. Everything is free. This entire content is free. Every single part of this content is free. It's not only free, but it's free to literally turn around. You can turn around and actually make content out of it and make your own money at this point. And yet people still fucking yell. Dubtech, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Jolene Kujojo for the 5. Matty Codes for the 20 gifted. Infantryman, thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Now, this is before we even talk about the actual socialism, okay? The socialism part of this conversation revolves around Mark Zuckerberg's main form of making money, okay? The main way that he makes money is through exploiting his workers, which I have shown time and time again. I try my very best not to engage in any kind of exploitative practices when I am creating commentary and creating entertainment. Okay? So even then, which was surprising, but even then a lot of people were basically looking at this and going, yeah, I think it's fucking ridiculous that, like, people are shitting on Hasan for this. So it was wild to see Reddit even doing pocket watching while still simultaneously being relatively charitable. Okay? I will always be infantryman instead of Infinite Ryman. Oh, sorry, Infinite Ryman. I read your name wrong. Okay? Just want to say, for anyone who thinks Twitch ad pays are all delusional, YouTube pays 10x, Twitch and always has. And YouTube pays 10x that Twitch pays and always has if you're not a fucking political content creator, okay? That's the other side of this equation. Your CPMs are insanely low when you're doing politics because it's considered controversial content. On top of that, I curse a lot too. Okay? Stop justifying yourself and stop debating with downvoted Redditors. I'm not saying you don't hear this all the time, but you don't have to justify yourself on your finances. I know. I don't have to. And I'm doing this one time, and we're not going to have to do that, okay? I'm just doing it one time. But ultimately, this is where it came. This is where I actually fucking recognized what was going on when they had this reaction.
Train meant, yo, bruh, 2 mil is dank. Nobody says 2 mil is not dank. 2 mil is dank. Thank you very much for Turkey. That's very sweet. It was absolutely colossal.
It's a net positive.
50K for somebody like you is a fucking joke, Hasan. It's a joke. Why only 50K?
There's a disagreement there. I don't think it's a joke.
Train meant, yo, bro.
Anyway. What he's saying is not a lot. Yes. They're saying is not a lot.
Bruh.
Well, he wasn't even saying that personally. I think he was saying like this is what Train is saying. But that is it. That was the moment because the conversation that we had after that made me understand. The conversation that we had after that made me understand, oh shit, like these guys actually aren't, you know, these guys actually don't know. Like they are thinking in their minds that it's
Train
like literally here you'll see.
Okay. Train meant, yo, bruh, 2 mil is dank. Nobody says
I'll be back in a second.
Dank. 2 mil is dank. Thank you very much for Turkey. That's very sweet. It was absolutely colossal.
It's a net positive.
50K for somebody like you is a fucking joke, Hasan. It's a joke. Why only 50K?
There's a disagreement there. I don't think it's a joke. I don't think it's a little amount of money.
Based on your ad incentive deal with Twitch, wouldn't you argue that the days you ran those ads on those days, along with what you made, don't they add? I mean, didn't you make
when I originally started?
I had to go for it. I had to go for it. I'm sorry.
You're wrong.
I'm sorry.
You're
I
wrong.
have to do it.
No, it's not.
Was it close to that amount?
Insane. No, not even remotely close.
Okay. At the end of the day, listen. I don't want to listen. What you did was phenomenal. The effect was phenomenal. Do you understand?
So, but hold on. This is very important to address.
Yes.
What you're doing right now is not genuine criticism. It's just pocket watching and also undermining something that I did that
the pocket
it wasn't even supposed to.
Based on what you preach.
No, hold on. No, that's bullshit. You're just pocket watching and then claiming that it's actually adequate to do so because you claim you're a socialist. No, I already described to you numerous fucking times what socialism is. Charity is not that. Pocket watching like a fucking blue-haired, non-binary Twitter user anarchist and being like, why don't you give all of your money and live in a fucking woodshed is not actually socialism. A lot of dumb motherfuckers on Twitter say that all the time to me, and I yell at them. Just because you're not...
Why is that example the comeback, some extreme rebuttal of,
because you sound like them, but you look like an ape, so no one thinks that you're like exactly behaving like them. But you are doing that, Train. You gotta stop.
Brother, that blue hair. Okay, let's not go to insults.
But they do that. They do that too.
Community,
they do the exact same shit that you're doing right now. They do it to Mr. Beast. They do it to me all the fucking time. They, I'm sure, would do it to you if they thought that you were like a person who would like listen and respond to them. You're doing the exact same shit. You are crying like a fucking SJW.
I'm not crying like an SJW. I'm pointing
yes, you are.
I'm pointing
yes,
out
you are.
Can't wait for Lovey to react to Train thinking you make 10 million. Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of that basically turned into that. I feel like the way they think is such a reflection of how the general populace thinks too. Such a bummer how fundamentally misunderstood what systematic support is versus individual charity. Yeah. One thing that I routinely keep going, you start spitting around at 526. I've been so charitable to you from the jump. The only reason why we've had this conversation is so that you can try
and make
I'm
me
not
look bad
trying
over and
to
over
make
again.
you look bad.
I've gone above and
XQC brought
beyond
these
trying to
topics
describe
up.
some. I've gone above and beyond
XQC
because,
brought these
like,
topics up
ultimately
for us
this
to
is good
talk about.
content. I've gone above and beyond describing things to you.
There is no gotcha moments here. We're having a discussion for the things that.
Yeah, by the way, that is a good point. I was going to mention that. I forgot to mention it there, but like 50K compared to how much I make versus 150K compared to what Train makes is insane. Train is very charitable, okay? And that's great. I think that's a great thing. I'm not going to shit on him for that, okay? But the idea that like Trainwreck and I, if we look at like how much money I have versus how much money he has, is unimaginable. And as a matter of fact, I think that was a big point of contention that we didn't personally understand. This guy is obviously doing like 10K spins, okay? He's doing 100K spins every now and then, okay? A guy who's doing 100K spins, of course, like 50 times a fucking day, doesn't understand that like my situation is not like that, okay? Like, it's crazy. Like, he loses 10 of my houses a fucking day sometimes, or wins 10 of my houses a day in cryptocurrency. Like, yeah, no shit. No fucking shit. And the greatest point, and there were two different points. There were two different points that I have to make sure people understood here. One, someone linked it actually towards the end where we were having a conversation about like how much money they thought I made genuinely. Okay. Them roasting you for not donating enough money when you are the broke boy in the Discord call with these mega millionaires is insanity. Oh, here. So this was one part. This is when I like this is when I understood this is when I understood where the difference in opinion was coming from. When they were like talking about, you know, the hundreds of millions that they have, and when Train was like, "Oh, you have 6 million in your bank account at least."
Listen, I think at the end of the day, we just need to.
Yeah, I think you guys both have like I have a lot of money, okay, in comparison to the average person, but I think like your perception is a little bit warped about wealth overall, okay? Like,
well, how is it gonna fix Twitch, which is the future of the world?
How much money you got? Like 10, 20 mil? You got at least 30 mil in the bank, yeah?
Oh, dude, you're fucking insane.
I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, like he thought I had 10, 20 mil in the fucking bank, dude. 10, 20 mil. And then he's like, all right, what do you got? Like 6? Again, also insane. I might eventually, okay? Not that any of this shit matters, because it's not like I'm fucking making it off of like, I don't know, like Indonesian slave labor or anything like that, which was another part of the, it's like rad lib shit. It's pocket watching.
Oh.
It's just, that's all it is.
If I had to put a number on it, I'd say like after taxes, maybe like a
you got expensive
6 mil in the bank. There's no
You got expensive taste with their shirts and shit though? Brother, like literally, this is what I mean. I make significantly more than what I actually fucking buy. You understand that, right? Like every now and then I buy expensive shit, but like trust me, like the money that they're talking about is not like, you know, it's not even remotely close. You know what my most expensive taste is? Saying no to a fucking $500,000 sponsorship from a gambling company, from a poker sponsorship, because I don't want to do it. That's where my fucking wealth flex actually comes from. And the only reason why I can do that is because I have enough. Okay? I make more money than I ever thought I would make. This is something that I stress regularly. Okay? It's not like these deals don't come my way either. Do you understand? These deals come my way all the fucking time. I don't take them because I don't need to take them. That's why they're all so shocked when we have our conversation about like, when we have a conversation basically about like, oh, how much money you have in your bank account or whatever. It's like the reason why they're shocked is because I don't do all that. Like I don't do all the other stuff. Yeah, most people can't comprehend how much a million is. You buy a 6K shirt and it's not like an indicator that you have millions. Yeah. Do you think poker should be banned on Twitch? No, I don't care about poker being banned on Twitch. Let's be real. I think all gambling is bad, but I do understand like the entertainment value of something like fucking poker because ultimately there is like a level of skill. How do I know that there's a level of skill involved in that? Because I don't know how to fucking play it. I literally don't know how to play fucking poker. It's infinitely different than like unregulated crypto-sponsored fucking gambling that is like being based out of the fucking Cayman Islands. I realized I can only think of one sponsorship that he did, and it was a game. Yeah, I every now and then will do a sponsorship, but it's usually just for a video game. Anyway. So, yeah, poker is also PvP. But there was that moment. And then the one moment that like I mean there was a couple moments where he like I didn't really get an answer out of him at all. But yeah, this was when I realized like, oh yeah, these guys are
There's no shot.
Brother, you are yeah, 6 that's like half of what I have actually. I've tripled that. Yeah, I exist in this weird world where $50,000 in donating to a fucking charity is not enough, and yet $1,000 shirt is too much to spend. Like, motherfuckers would be like, bro, I can't believe you have a supercar, a Porsche, right? Bitch, how much do you think I've paid for that Porsche so far? It's a lease. Like, how much do you think I pay for that? Like I drive that. That's my daily driver. You know what I mean? I drive it everywhere, right? Like, it's a fucking car. It was stupid, though. I could have bought it outright, obviously. But, like... But I could have bought it. I could have bought it, and it wouldn't even have been that... it wouldn't have been that, like, big of a fucking issue. It wouldn't have been that big of a fucking budgetary destruction, okay? My point is, this is what I say when I say I live, like, well within my means, okay? Well underneath my means, okay? Not above. Well underneath. Because I still end up choosing to spend more of it on not just fucking shirts, even though every now and then I like my treats, but on whatever the fuck I want to spend it on. Whatever the fuck I want to spend it on is usually trying to make people's lives a little bit better, okay? Because things suck. It's not going to change it. It's not systemic change. It's nothing, okay? It's ultimately nothing in the grand scheme of things. Let's be fucking real. Make no mistake. It's not, I'm such a good guy, I'm doing this. I'm doing it for selfish reasons. It makes me happy, okay? When I am able to give money to people who need it, it makes me happy. There, I admit it. The fact that I have the capability to be able to buy a house where my family can come and live with me for months, the fact that I have the capability to pay off my brother's student loan debt, the fact that I have the capability to not even think about spending, you know, sometimes maybe $1,000 on a meal with all of my friends, okay? That makes me happy. That's why I do it. That's it. That's the big secret. It's not because like, oh my God, it's going to be fucking great. No, that's it. That's it. It doesn't make me a good person. It doesn't make me a socialist Jesus. And it certainly is not socialism. Okay? Not. It has nothing to do with that. Can't live down a few expensive shirts, but 50K to charity is nothing that people can't win for losing. Exactly. And now you're bragging, good God, the left is dumb. Huh. Why does it even matter what you spend your money on? It's your money, you get to spend it. None of them is asking what they get to spend on. Yes, XQC literally, when he found out that I fucking paid a mortgage for my house, openly stated laughingly that he bought it cash because it was easy as fuck. You will never hear a single person turn around and tell XQC that that is insane, which it shouldn't be. Like, yeah, he has a lot of fucking money. He bought a house. Yeah,
Oh, you
no,
let me know.
man. 6 is
Okay.
so.
Jim,
Bro, I put a. People think I own a fucking like. People think I bought this house like literally cash. Like, look, like I said, I have a lot more
It's
money than
actually-
the average
well,
person.
to be fair,
I've literally put a fucking down payment and bought it with a mortgage. Like I have a mortgage.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
paying.
to be fair, that would be stupid of you to purchase that entire house with full cash, right? Like, if you had that kind of money, it's, you know, there's other ways you would go about that. So technically
you
speaking,
lose purchasing power and other things. That's not good.
No, I
Which
know.
I guess you would
I'm saying
argue
that people that
falls
were
right back
chirping
into
at me
the-
and still chirp at me all the time, literally are like, why don't you take the $3 million and like, and live in a cardboard and instead like, pay $3 million to me.
I bought the house
those-
as cash. It was cheap as fuck. I didn't give a shit.
those extreme takes are unfortunate and unfair. Realistically, listen, bro. One of these days, you and I will get together. We'll create some sort of system or push for one, right? Not a charity, something where we actually advocate for something and push for something and get it done to match the words. And then the next thing you know, who knows? Maybe we'll be president and vice president. We'll be running the country.
Like this motherfucker has half a McLaren. He can't even drive, and it's nothing. Okay, and no one cares, and no one should care. He's not doing anything. He's just sitting around eating his toenails, trying to entertain 17-year-olds on the internet. People, understandably, don't give a shit how he spends his money. People literally go fucking bananas mode when it comes down to whatever the fuck I buy. I can't even pick my nose without like 17 fucking Twitter threads about how I didn't do it in an ethical Marxian way. Okay? Oh, Hasan, I heard, uses 2-ply toilet paper. That's not very communist of you, my guy. You should be socialist Jesus. Time for your daily lashing for the fucking crime of advocating for a better society for everyone. It's like, come on, dog. Shut the fuck up. And I hate it when it comes from the left. I don't give a shit when the right-wingers do it, but I hate it when it comes from the left because it's especially fucking frustrating when it comes from the left. It's like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? You're undermining your own goddamn cause. You're making it seem like being a fucking socialist means you have to be a fucking loser. You can never be successful if you're a socialist because your own allies, they're supposed to be ostensibly on your side, are going to shit on you non-fucking stop. I expect that from Train. I don't expect that from the fucking hammer and sickle Twitter users. Okay? It's actually funny and fun when right-wingers do it. We can make jokes about it. But again, notice how when push came to shove, and this is like literally what people consider to be a valid argument. We had a conversation about charities or systems, and I think like Train genuinely was trying to say like I should basically create a government internally in this community and make a system, okay? And just like drop everything that I'm doing, literally learn how to fucking set up a 501c3 just so I can like, create an insurance system? Like that's insane, right? How the fuck am I going to fund it if I'm not streaming even then? Okay? How am I going to do Hasan Care, right? I don't know the first thing about running a fucking company. Part of the reason why I'm, I guess, one of the best people to work with is because I'm so hands-off because I don't want to fucking manage people. Okay? I don't want to manage people. I'm so bad at it. There's no way I could ever turn around and fucking create an insurance scheme. And ultimately, at the end of the day, if I did that and it was like relatively successful, how many people could we even insure in that process? And that is ridiculous. Ridiculous assertion. It has nothing to do with socialism. None of it matters, right? But remember, ultimately, I lost my cool a little bit towards the end of it, and I turned the script on what Train was doing with respect to his merchandise. I said, look, I use union-made, domestically manufactured manufacturing. And the reason why I do that is because it's the most ethical thing I can do when I'm creating a commodity. But what about yourself? You use Indonesian child slave labor produced cotton and sweatshirts that you sell at an incredibly high markup. And his answer to that was, well, I never said I'm a socialist. And that, I think, and it went unnoticed, but that in and of itself is the main argument, is that the amount of scrutiny that you can hold someone who says things could be better is unimaginable. They want like tax returns, receipts. They want to fucking audit my shit like the IRS, okay? Down to that. You've made merchandise.
I am not.
Train?
I don't preach what you preach.
Hey,
right?
so it's okay. So when you make merchandise made in fucking like, Bangladesh or whatever, and you take the tidy profit off the tippy top with like some exploited Indonesian child factory laborer that you're drop shipping onto your fucking audience, then that's acceptable because, hey, you never said you were a socialist. How about let's talk about your ethics a little bit. That's it. People got to realize what you do is entertainment, not politics. Actual politics, when people log off and go organize labor or protest or campaign, you being entertainment is great, especially if it points people in that direction of doing politics. But man, people got to figure out the difference. Exactly. And that's it. That's the point. I can do whatever I want because I say I'm a capitalist, and it's okay. But you try to at least engage in some agitative propaganda and try to instill class consciousness. And if you do that, then I have every right to look at how much money you make, to look at where you spend it, and to disingenuously frame it when your situation is as, maybe not the most airtight, but as airtight as you feasibly can make it. Just say you're a capitalist, and it's fine. Because considering from where I'm standing, I practice what I fucking preach. You are trying to poke holes in that. You think the moderator angle is an adequate one, so you're going to keep trying to fucking put that down. Go ahead. Tell us about how you make merch. Tell us about how much money you get paid from crypto gambling sponsorships. You've made merchandise.
I am not.
Train?
I don't preach what you preach.
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah. You should start calling yourself a capitalist? I have. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm a capitalist. Who cares? It's not like my perspective on the matter is going to change. Sure, yeah, I'm a capitalist. I love capitalism. I've said it many, many times. And the irony here is that this is why having like a debate around my ethics only is always going to be a failure ultimately. I think I did decently well, all things considered. And the goal for me in that situation was basically to just do everything I can to address some of these like super common concerns, because it was like Reddit and Twitter talking point. It was like it was talking to a Reddit or Twitter talking point bot, like everything I've heard so many times over and over again. But instead, this time it was in front of an audience that was at least somewhat receptive to what I was saying. Okay. But it's just wild. People are more concerned about perceived hypocrisy than the action being done. Exactly. But the reason why I wanted to do that is so that I hope that I could potentially get some level of charitability. I hope that people can find that in all of this. And it seems like they did. And then there was a lot of fun moments or funny moments, like asking, I asked Train to, apologize for making it seem like my initial reaction to his vague tweet that was you know, a little wild. He did ultimately. But then there were funny moments, obviously. And you know, even at the end of it, we got together and shit on XQC together. We 2v1'd him a little bit with respect to Kick. So, and then we had some funny moments about like right-wing takes that they have potentially, or right-wing forms of governance that they have potentially, that they believe in, then, you know, and how those things were usually just left-wing in general.
Creates the highest density of addiction. Want to know how I got addicted to gambling? Opening Pokemon cards. I got addicted. What can I say? And I'm a fucking gambler at heart. Yes, I was probably genetically more prone to addiction in that regard, and I don't mind fucking saying it. Okay.
Okay.
Reality,
let's get back to socialism.
That
oh no. I did not see that. I didn't hear what he was talking about. It all comes down. Train doesn't care about any of the points he has. He just wants to get you in trouble and own you. His mental demons are telling him you are the enemy and he has to attack you. He couldn't care less or what you donate or whatever. I think ultimately, deep down inside, if you were to like examine what, Train like truly believes, like, which at the end of it, when we were having just like a regular conversation, he openly mentioned it. He has opinions that are closer to an anti-capitalist perspective than anything else. Okay? That's just how it is. A lot of people are like that. Not just Train. Just the average American is like that. That's why the average American is so brain broken by hyper-capitalist propaganda, is so brain broken by Red Scare propaganda, that they don't have any understanding of like the values that they espouse as being leftist. When you call it out as being leftist, they go, "Oh fuck, dude! Like that's actually maybe not leftist." I don't know. They get scared. They feel like it's embarrassing. You know? This talk was pretty good for changing minds. A good amount of the juicer chat was hyping you up for once, and very surprisingly, even Reddit is defending you, even when the juicer, the god of Reddit himself, was against you. Yeah. Are you a right-wing commentator now? Why the suit? Suit is because today's Trump's arrest day. Even though it's not, it's tomorrow. But, you know, we're going to have some fun today regardless. We're going to do some hog watch. But yeah, that's it. I think I covered it fairly well. I hit a pretty fire top of the hour ad break there. Masterful debate. But yeah. I think if I were to pick one favorite part of this though, it would definitely be when XQC brought up a point in my favor and said, unfortunately. Unfortunately, there is evidence that Hasan has, been openly defending reaction content from the jump. And I was like, I didn't want to say anything at that moment, but I was like, unfortunately, motherfucker, you're supposed to be the mediator. Like, fuck you mean, unfortunately? That's the hardest part about being a referee is when, you know, you have these kind of issues sometimes. Okay. Unfortunately, Hasan is not the piece of shit that Twitter says he is. Yeah. But I'm glad that they found it. I'm glad that they found the one clip of me saying, go watch Train if you want if you want uninterrupted cooking streams, versus me watching it with more interruption, literally at that very moment. And that was not the smoking gun that they said that I think they thought it was, but it is what it is, you know? Maybe it's out there. Maybe there's a reason for why Train thinks that I'm like the main evangelist. But I feel like if that was the case, you know, there would have been a bunch of fucking, just a bunch of fucking moments throughout my long and convoluted history of reacting to shit. Especially because, like, I've been very critical of Trainwrecks throughout our relationship. XQC's chat was so hilarious, shitting on X for being the moderator. What does he even do? Yeah. Okay. What is this? You Train versus XQC?
This idea of this idea of a trade-off is ridiculous. That because they gave a little bit more.
Yeah, Train literally was explaining how trade-offs are facilitated by those whose only interest is defending profit margins. Okay? Like, he literally was making an anti-capitalist argument in that moment. So I just let him cook.
More ad revenue, it justifies the taking of the sub revenue.
Absolutely.
Train, I agree with you. I agree with you.
It's leveled out.
You and I are in agreement.
Nope.
Listen, that's like a platform saying, "Oh, we're gonna give you 20%, right?" Which is unfair, and then saying, "Oh, you know what? We'll give you 30," and everyone goes, "Oh, yes, you gave us more. You didn't have to." No, it is fucking they started at a ripoff rate, and they gave you another rate to make it look like it's better, but that's also a ripoff rate. Do you understand?
Yes.
He's right.
Yes. But
it's presented disingenuously. That it's disgusting. It's pure greed and pure.
It's still leveled out, though. It ended up being the same thing or better. It ended up being a raw pause.
The increased ad should not come at the cost of sub splits being cut. That's ridiculous. The increased ad should come if the site's business.
They should.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Finally, we're done. Oh shit! What did I just close? Finally,